Almost every wallet brand you can name has quietly stopped being worth trusting. Not because the leather went bad overnight, though plenty of it did. It's because most of these companies worked out that a wallet you replace every 3 years sells a lot better than one that outlives you. So the leather got thinner, the corners got glued instead of stitched, and a few of the heritage names you grew up respecting got bought out and hollowed from the inside. Filson is the one that still stings. Rugged American workwear, more than a century old, and in 2012 it got sold to a holding company. Since then, the share of Filson gear actually made in the United States has reportedly slid from around 90% a decade ago to roughly a third today. Prices climbed, and the quality went wobbly. Same logo on the label, different thing inside it. A heritage name is not a heritage product, and people tend to learn that one blown seam at a time. So this is not a list of famous names. It's a short list of the wallet makers who refuse to play that game, the ones I would actually hand a friend and tell him to stop shopping. One of them backs its wallet with a written 100-year warranty and flat out tells you your grandkids will fight over it. The one I would put at the very top has been turning out the same wallet in a single English town for 90 years, and it carries a warrant from the royal family itself. I'll name both. Quick word on how a wallet earned a spot, because it's leather and it feels nice is not trust. 4 tests. It has to be built to outlast you, which means full grain or top grain leather in a single layer, or real metal, never the glued together stuff labeled genuine leather that sits near the bottom of the quality ladder and splits as it ages. Somebody has to actually stand behind it and repair or replace it, with a warranty that covers the wallet and not some technicality. And you'll hear in a minute why I keep leaning on that. The company can't be a flip target, so family-owned, private, small enough that no boardroom is picking next year's leather to juice a quarter. And it has to still be made the same way in the same place, not quietly shipped offshore the way Filson was. One honest thing before we start. Buy it for life does not mean immortal. Carry a leather wallet every day, and you realistically get 10 to 20 good years, and it's the stitching and the corners that give first, not the leather. Wearing out isn't the problem. The failure is a corner that splits with nobody left to fix it, and a wallet you can trust is stitched and backed so that day either never arrives or costs you nothing when it does. Number 7. Fox Creek Leather. Start here if the grail money at the top of this list makes your stomach hurt, because you do not need to spend that much to buy once and be done. Fox Creek is a shop in Independence, Virginia that's been at it since the early 1980s, making wallets in the United States out of full-grain cowhide, bison, and elk. It's the brand the buy-it-for-life crowd quietly names when somebody wants a saddleback that doesn't cost saddleback money. What earns it the spot is that they run a real repair bench. You mail the thing back to Virginia, it goes into the production line, it comes back fixed. A machinist I know rides, and he punishes his gear the way only a guy on a motorcycle can, and Fox Creek is the one wallet he has stopped replacing. One straight caveat so you're not surprised. Their headline lifetime guarantee is written mostly around their riding gear, so on a wallet I would lean on the American-made build and that repair bench, rather than the warranty line. Honest leather, fair price, made by people you could actually get on the phone. For a lot of carriers, that's the whole game. Number 6. The metal wallet done by people who genuinely give a damn is Trayvax, built in Bellingham, Washington. They pair aircraft-grade aluminum with full-grain leather, so the part that usually fails, the folded corner or the flimsy edge, isn't there to fail in the first place. Owners drop these on concrete, sit on them for years in a back pocket, put them through the wash by accident, and they come out looking about the same. They stand behind it for 65 years, a warranty they call an heirloom warranty, and the long-haul owners bear it out. It's common to hear from somebody a decade in whose wallet is, in his words, good as new. One thing to watch if the leather matters to you. A few of their models use top grain instead of full grain, so check the exact spec and get the full grain version if you want it to patina and darken over the years. Get that right and it laughs off the kind of abuse a leather-only wallet can't survive. Keep it in mind too, because there's a far louder metal wallet coming up, and that one does not hold up remotely as well. Number 5. Popov Leather. Picture the opposite of a call center. Something goes wrong with your wallet, and the person who picks up is basically down the hall from the bench where it was sewn. Popov is a small shop in Nelson, British Columbia, and every wallet is made and hand-stitched there from full-grain leather, one at a time, by a handful of people. The trust case is the warranty, and, more to the point, who is actually behind it. They guarantee the wallets for life, and if one ever fails, they repair or replace it, no fight, no runaround. When the shop is that small, that promise isn't a line of legal fine print. It's a couple of makers who would honestly rather fix your wallet than trade emails about it. The word among the leather crowd puts Popov in the best for the money tier, right next to makers that cost a good deal more, and I have never once heard a carrier regret buying one. Their full-grain leather comes largely from established tanneries, and they'll build you plenty of it in Horween Chrome Excel if you want the stuff the leather nerds chase, without the Grail brand markup on top. If you want the hand-stitched wallet that ages beautifully without stepping up to boutique prices, with a real human backing it, this is the safe pick, and the one I would point a first-timer to. Now, before the top 4, I have to deal with the 2 names you're already typing into the comments. You can't run an honest wallet list in 2026 without them, and neither one made this list, for a reason that goes straight to the point of the video. First is Ridge. Its whole marketing identity is a lifetime warranty, so let's actually look at what that lifetime warranty covers. Dig into it and it's the hardware, the screws and the elastic, not the finish, not scratches, not dents, and obviously not a wallet you lose. People have gone looking for warranty help on a scratched-up plate and been told no. I call that warranty theater. A big lifetime promise slapped over the one part that was never going to break, while every part that actually wears is quietly on you. It is the precise opposite of what the promise is supposed to mean, and once you spot the move, you will catch it all over this category. If you own a Ridge and love it, carry it in good health. I'm not prying it out of your pocket. Just know that a friend of mine looked at a plain rubber band, wrapped it around his card stack, and had most of the same wallet for nothing. Second is Bellroy, and this one is genuinely good, so I want to be fair. Bellroy makes about the best slim leather wallet most people will ever hold. The design is smart, the leather is decent, and it's the wallet plenty of guys drift back to after a metal one bores them. If you want a thin, handsome everyday carry, buy one, I mean it. It just doesn't belong on a buy it for life list, and here's the honest reason. The leather is thin on purpose, chosen to stay slim rather than to go the distance, and the warranty runs 3 years. That's a perfectly decent warranty. It is just not a lifetime one. Bellroy is a buy it for a decade wallet, which is a fine thing to own as long as you knew that walking in. It's the same call as buying a Mont Blanc pen and never a Mont Blanc wallet. The pens are the real deal. The leather goods have a reputation for coming apart at the seams a couple of years in, because the money went into the name, not the corners. And that's exactly the trap this whole list is trying to walk you out of. Most of the designer houses run the same play with leather. You're renting the logo for a few seasons, and the stitching always knows it, even when your wallet cost more than everything else on this list combined. Quick one at the turn. I dig up a category like this every week, hunting for the gear that actually lasts and the markups that don't earn it. If that's useful to you, subscribe, and I'll keep them coming. Alright, on to the best of the bunch. Number 4. Ezra Arthur. Here's the wallet nobody is running ads at you for. Ezra Arthur is 4 brothers who set up a workshop in Phoenix, Arizona, back in 2010 with one flatly simple goal: make leather good enough to hand down. The wallets are full-grain, vegetable-tanned Italian horsehide, and there is nothing else in them at all. No fabric lining, no glued backing, no plastic core, just leather and thread. That matters more than it sounds, because the cheap ways a wallet dies, the lining bubbling loose, a glued layer peeling, a plastic frame cracking, all need a part that this wallet simply does not have. The horsehide is the piece worth knowing about. It comes off a tougher, tighter hide than cow, so it takes years of pocket friction and just burnishes darker and harder, instead of scuffing soft and sagging out of shape the way a soft cowhide wallet does. It holds its form for front pocket city carry, where a wallet that bloats and slumps is the whole problem. That's the entire selling point. And look at where they aimed the guarantee. They didn't stamp a vague lifetime badge across the whole object. They warrantied the stitching for life, which is to say they put the promise exactly on the one part that actually gives out first. That's a maker who knows precisely how its own wallet dies and chooses to stand right on that spot. You can read the confidence straight off the warranty card. If you want the buy it for life wallet that nobody at dinner will even recognize the label of, and honestly that's half the pleasure of it, this is the one. Number 3. Saddleback Leather. This is the 100-year warranty I promised you, and it's the real article. Saddleback makes overbuilt full-grain wallets, lined in pigskin, thick enough that the company's own tagline is that people will fight over it when you're dead. The warranty runs 100 years, and unlike the theater we just walked through, it covers the actual wallet, the craftsmanship, and the materials both. This is about as close as the category gets to a wallet that flatly outlives its owner. Private, owner-run, beholden to no boardroom anywhere. The pigskin lining is the quiet tell that they're building to a standard and not a price, since most makers at that thickness skip a real lining entirely and just leave you a raw back that dries out and cracks in a few years. Now I have to argue against my own list for a second, because I carried one of these for years and I've got the scars. Saddleback wallets ride like a brick. They're thick, they take most of a year to break in, and the card slots are famously tight enough that a lot of owners, me very much included, have watched that death grip chew up and demagnetize a card right along the stripe. I know more than one long-term Saddleback guy who finally walked away, not because the wallet wore out, it never will, but because he got sick of hauling a brick and reordering credit cards every few months. So the verdict comes with a condition, and this is exactly the kind of call that tells a real recommendation apart from a brochure. Do not buy the fat bifold for daily city carry. Buy the slim front pocket model, the one actually shaped to ride up front, and go in knowing you're getting a tank and not a featherweight. One more fact so the comments don't ambush you. Saddleback is designed in the United States and made in Leon, Mexico, which is a real leather town with generations of the craft in it. Not a knock, just the truth, because somebody was going to bring it up anyway. Get the right model, make peace with the heft, and it's the most bomb-proof warranty-backed wallet on this entire list. Number 2. Ashland Leather. The American obsessive's grail lives in Chicago, and you have almost certainly never seen an ad for it. Ashland is a small maker cutting its wallets from Horween shell cordovan and chrome excel. And Horween is Chicago's oldest operating tannery, a family outfit that has been tanning leather in that same city since 1905. So what you're carrying is the output of a 5-generation American tannery, sewn by hand nearby, and guaranteed for as long as you own it. Shell cordovan is the reason the leather people lose their minds over this stuff. It's cut from one dense strip of a horse's hide. It takes the better part of 6 months to tan, and it behaves like almost nothing else. Catch a scratch across it, and instead of leaving a permanent scar the way ordinary hide does, you can often work the mark flat again with the pad of your thumb until it simply vanishes back into the surface. The shell cordovan sleeve I've carried for years has shared a pocket with my keys and loose change the whole time, and it just keeps looking better for the abuse. That's the trick the price is buying, and it's why the guys who could carry any leather good on the planet carry this one. It's also why serious cordovan can sit on a wait list, because there's only so much of it per hide, and it takes months to make. So you're not paying a marketing premium, you're paying for a genuinely scarce material worked by hand. It clears every test we opened with, and it does it quietly. The leather is the best made in America, and it's overbuilt to match. The guarantee has no expiration. The company is small and privately held, in no danger of being flipped to a holding company the way Filson was, and it's still stitched by hand in the same city as the tannery feeding it. No ad campaign, no logo tax, nothing that even smells like the warranty theater we caught Ridge running. Hand me a blank check and tell me to buy one wallet to carry the rest of my life and never think about it again, and Ashland is what I walk out holding. The most trusted name in the category is the one spending nothing to get your attention. And number 1, Ettinger. We finish across the ocean, with the pick whose price is going to make you flinch, so let me tell you exactly what the money buys. Ettinger has been making leather goods in England since 1934. Its signature wallets are English bridal leather, and it holds a royal warrant, the genuine one, first granted by the then Prince of Wales in 1996 and renewed by King Charles in 2024. You cannot buy that off a shelf. It's a supplier relationship the British royal household has chosen to keep going for decades, which is about the longest-running durability test a leather maker on Earth can point at. And it isn't handed out for a nice logo. A maker has to supply the household consistently for years before it's even in the running, and the whole thing can be pulled the moment quality slips, so holding on to one for the better part of 30 years is a receipt that the goods never once dropped off. The wallets are made in England, in Walsall, the town that's been the country's leather-working heart for generations. Bridal leather is thick, firm, heavily worked stuff, first made for horse tack that had to survive rain and rains and years of hard pulling, which is precisely why it turns into a wallet that refuses to quit. This is manufacturing continuity you can hold in your hand. A company still making the same object in the same place from the same leather, 90 years deep, with no acquisition and no offshoring in the story anywhere. I won't pretend it's a value play. Ettinger is a genuine splurge, and if all you want is a wallet that lasts, half the picks lower on this list get you there for far less. But this is the number 1 slot on a list about trust. And trust, stretched all the way to its limit, looks like a thing that has been proven for 90 unbroken years and handed down more than once. A friend of mine still carries his father's Ettinger billfold, darkened and softened and a little cracked at one fold, and it is plainly good for another 30 years and another owner. That is the whole promise of this format made real in one wallet. Run the math the way this audience actually does, and a wallet that outlasts 2 owners across half a century is not the expensive option, it's the last one you ever pay for, which quietly makes it the cheapest per year of anything on this list. If I were buying a single thing to leave to my kid and never explain, this is the one I'd hand him. So here's the thread running through all 7. Every maker on this list is small and still private, still building the same thing in the same place it always has, and standing behind the actual wallet instead of a screw in the corner of it. That's what a wallet you can trust is really made of, and it's the exact set of traits the big flippable brands sold off to look a little better for one more quarter. If you just want the straight answer, here it is. Tight on money, and after American-made you can beat on, Fox Creek. Want metal that won't quit, Trayvax. Want the hidden gem nobody will recognize, Ezra Arthur. Want the one true heirloom to hand down, Ettinger. Or the slim saddleback if you can live with the heft. And if you want the grail that outlives you and looks better doing it, save up and buy the Ashland once. But the deeper rule is simpler than any brand name up there. Buy full-grain leather from a small maker who will repair it when it wears, and odds are you will never do this again. That's the whole secret the disposable brands are quietly betting you never work out. So, one carrier to another, I actually want to hear it. What's the one thing in your pocket right now that you already know you'll pass down someday, the piece you are certain you'll never buy a second time? Tell me down in the comments. I want to know what made your list and what you'd never buy twice.